Have you ever imagined what would happen if the NBA's most iconic father-son duo got traded together, potentially ending the greatest individual career in basketball history with the most shocking roster move ever conceived? The basketball world is buzzing with a trade proposal so audacious, so fundamentally game-changing, that it threatens to rewrite everything we thought we knew about loyalty, legacy, and the business of professional sports. We're talking about a three-team blockbuster that would send LeBron James and his son Brony from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Dallas Mavericks, creating seismic shifts across multiple franchises and potentially altering the entire competitive landscape of the NBA. This isn't just another trade rumor or off-season speculation. This is a proposal that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about aging superstars, franchise direction, and the cold mathematics of championship construction. The Lakers, facing the reality of a 40-year-old LeBron potentially entering his final season, are being forced to consider the unthinkable, trading away the face of their franchise to salvage their competitive future. The implications extend far beyond roster construction. We're talking about breaking up the first father-son duo in NBA history, potentially ending LeBron's Lakers chapter in the most dramatic fashion possible, and fundamentally altering the championship aspirations of three separate franchises. The proposed deal would send shockwaves through the basketball world and create storylines that would dominate sports media for years to come. But here's what makes this trade proposal so compelling. It actually makes basketball sense for everyone involved. The Lakers get younger and deeper, the Mavericks add another superstar to their championship core, and the Nets acquire promising young talent for their rebuild. It's the rare mega trade that could benefit all parties while creating the most talked-about transaction in NBA history. The Lakers' championship calculus and painful reality, the harsh truth facing the Los Angeles Lakers, is that time has become their greatest enemy and sentimentality might be their biggest obstacle to championship success. LeBron James, despite his otherworldly longevity, is entering his age 40 season with questions about his ability to carry a championship-level load during the playoffs. The Lakers' current roster construction reveals fundamental flaws that this proposed trade would address comprehensively. By moving LeBron's massive contract and acquiring Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, Najee Marshall, and Caleb Martin, they would transform from a top-heavy, aging team into a deep, versatile squad built around Luka Doncic's prime years. Gafford provides the Lakers with exactly what they've been missing, a legitimate defensive anchor who can protect the rim and finish efficiently around the basket. His combination of shot-blocking ability and pick-and-roll finishing would complement Doncic's playmaking perfectly, creating the kind of two-way impact that championship teams require. P.J. Washington adds the versatile forward production that the Lakers desperately need. His ability to stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and contribute in various ways makes him an ideal complement to Austin Reeves and the Lakers' developing young core. Washington's playoff experience and two-way impact would provide the consistency that championship runs demand. The depth additions of Marshall and Martin would give the Lakers the kind of role-player reliability that they've lacked in recent seasons. Both players bring specific skills: Marshall's defensive intensity and three-point shooting, Martin's versatility and playoff experience, that would dramatically improve the team's overall roster balance. The emotional complexity of breaking up history, the most devastating aspect of this proposed trade, involves separating LeBron and Bronny James, the first father-son duo to play together in NBA history. This isn't just about basketball transactions. It's about breaking up a family achievement that represents the pinnacle of LeBron's personal and professional legacy. The emotional weight of trading away both James' family members simultaneously would create unprecedented media attention and fan reaction. LeBron has made it clear throughout his career that playing with his son was one of his ultimate goals, and the Lakers facilitated that dream by drafting Bronny despite questions about his NBA readiness. However, the cold reality of championship construction doesn't respect sentiment or family connections. If the Lakers determine that their best path to sustained success involves moving on from the James era, then even the most emotionally significant relationships become expendable. This harsh truth reflects the ruthless nature of professional sports at the highest level. The psychological impact on LeBron himself cannot be understated. Being traded at age 40, potentially against his wishes, would represent a dramatic end to his Lakers tenure and possibly his entire career. The narrative implications would be enormous, potentially affecting how his legacy is remembered and discussed for decades to come. The Dallas Mavericks championship gambit. From the Mavericks' perspective, acquiring LeBron James would represent one of the boldest championship gambles in recent NBA history. They would be betting that a 40-year-old superstar, despite age-related concerns, could provide the missing piece for a title run alongside their existing core. The proposed Dallas lineup of Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and D'Angelo Russell would create one of the most talented starting fives in recent memory. The combination of established stars and emerging talent would give them multiple paths to offensive success while maintaining defensive versatility. LeBron's leadership and playoff experience would provide invaluable guidance for a franchise that has struggled to maximize its talent in crucial moments. His ability to elevate teammate performance and make clutch plays could transform the Mavericks from talented underachievers into legitimate championship contenders. The addition of Brony, while potentially more symbolic than impactful, would demonstrate the organization's commitment to keeping LeBron happy and motivated. This family connection could provide the emotional fuel that drives championship runs, even if Bronny's on-court contributions remain limited. However, the Mavericks would be sacrificing significant depth and future flexibility for this championship push. Trading away Gafford, Washington, Marshall, and Martin would leave them vulnerable if injuries occur or if LeBron's age-related decline accelerates faster than expected. The Brooklyn Nets' rebuilding acceleration. The Brooklyn Nets' involvement in this trade would provide them with exactly what rebuilding teams need: young talent with upside and veteran players who could contribute immediately or be flipped for additional assets. Acquiring Dalton Connect would give them a promising young forward with significant development potential. Connect's shooting ability and basketball IQ make him an ideal piece for a team trying to build sustainable success through player development. His rookie contract provides financial flexibility, while his skill set suggests he could become a valuable rotation player or even more with proper development. The addition of veterans like Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell would provide the Nets with experienced players who could either contribute to their competitive efforts or be moved to contending teams for additional draft capital. This flexibility is exactly what rebuilding organizations need to maximize their asset accumulation. Olivier Maxence Prosper represents another young player with development potential, giving the Nets multiple chances to identify future contributors while maintaining their rebuilding timeline. This type of prospect accumulation is essential for teams trying to build sustainable competitive cores. The seismic implications across the league. The execution of this trade would create ripple effects throughout the NBA that extend far beyond the three teams involved. LeBron's move to Dallas would shift championship odds dramatically and force other contenders to reconsider their own roster construction approaches. The Western Conference balance would be fundamentally altered, with the Mavericks potentially emerging as championship favorites, while the Lakers might drop out of immediate contention despite their improved depth. This competitive shift would influence how other teams approach their own trade and free agency decisions. The media attention surrounding this trade would be unprecedented, creating storylines that would dominate basketball coverage for months. The combination of LeBron's legacy, the father-son separation, and the championship implications would generate content that transcends typical sports coverage. The precedent of trading aging superstars, even iconic ones like LeBron, could influence how other franchises handle similar situations in the future. This trade would establish that no player, regardless of legacy or emotional attachment, is untradeable if the right circumstances emerge. The financial and salary cap mathematics. The financial structure of this proposed trade reveals sophisticated salary cap management that would benefit all parties involved. The Lakers would gain significant financial flexibility while improving their roster depth. The Mavericks would acquire a superstar without mortgaging their entire future, and the Nets would maintain their rebuilding timeline. LeBron's expiring deal provides the Mavericks with championship upside without long-term financial commitment, allowing them to pursue other moves if this gamble doesn't succeed. The Lakers' acquisition of multiple contracts would give them roster flexibility and future trade options. The salary matching requirements create complexity that would require precise execution, but the potential benefits justify the administrative challenges. This type of multi-team financial coordination demonstrates the sophistication required for modern NBA roster construction. The legacy and historical context, this trade would represent one of the most significant transactions in NBA history, comparable to major moves like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Lakers or Wilt Chamberlain to the Lakers. The combination of star power, family dynamics, and championship implications would create historical significance. LeBron's legacy would be fundamentally affected by how this trade unfolds and whether it leads to championship success in Dallas. A successful title run would enhance his reputation for adaptability and championship drive, while failure could raise questions about his decision-making and priorities. The father-son separation would become a defining moment in NBA history, representing either a necessary business decision or a tragic end to a beautiful family story. The narrative implications would influence how this trade is remembered and discussed for generations. The ultimate championship calculation. Ultimately, this proposed trade forces all parties to confront the fundamental question of modern NBA success. Is championship potential worth sacrificing everything else? The Lakers would be betting on depth over star power, the Mavericks would be gambling on aging greatness, and the Nets would be focusing on future development over immediate impact. The execution of this trade would create the most compelling storylines of the NBA season and potentially determine championship outcomes for years to come. It represents the type of bold, controversial move that defines franchises and shapes legacies permanently. This trade proposal absolutely blows my mind because it forces us to confront the harsh realities of aging superstars and championship construction in ways that most fans aren't ready to accept. Do you think the Lakers should actually consider trading LeBron at this stage of his career? Or would it be an unforgivable betrayal of everything he's meant to the franchise? Would this move make Dallas an instant championship favorite? Or would it be too risky given LeBron's age? Share your wildest takes in the comments, because this is exactly the kind of earth-shattering move that makes the NBA completely unpredictable. And hit that like button if you're as fascinated by these nuclear trade scenarios as I am.